Appreciate you guys tuning in. The Tastemakers podcast begins in 5 minutes. Make sure not to go nowhere, because Quote, Brina, Trisha, and Corey, also known as the Tastemakers, will be with you in 5 minutes. Thanks for sticking with us. Oh snap, you still here. Listen, in less than 3 minutes, the Tastemakers pod will be on and popping. Don't miss Bree, Quote, Trish, and Corey talking about the hottest topics in culture. Again, less than 3 minutes. Make sure to stick with us.
Tastemakers.
Classic. We do more than make a living, we make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the Tastemakers. Aight. Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight.
I told y'all, patience is a virtue. This is what perseverance will get you. In just 60 seconds, you will be live with the Tastemakers pod. Again, appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
For the new Tastemakers, sommeliers came out to play. Classics in the current day. For the movers and shakers, for the new Tastemakers, sommeliers came out to play. Classics in the current day.
The Beat Breaker. Tastemakers.
What up? What up? What up? There we go. Let's see. Let's see here. What's going on, y'all? Of course, giving you a taste of the culture is the Tastemakers Pod. As you guys know, that is Trisha Bell right there.
Hey.
That's your man, Light Skin Corey.
Hey, yo, Trash!
That's Bree right here. And they call me Quote. And we appreciate you guys tuning in to another edition of the Tastemakers Podcast. Of course, if you're in the chat, make sure to say that you're here. Let us know where you're from. And of course, we are glad to have you in the house here. So it's all good. I just got your tweet. I'm sorry, your text. But how you guys feeling this week? Everybody doing good?
Stress.
Stress, yes.
Stress, okay.
Yeah.
Double stress? Three
Yeah.
stresses?
Yep.
Dang.
Absolutely.
What got y'all? Let's okay. I really know
Bree
how
has a good
it
reason.
feels to be.
Yeah, moving and work. So it's like I'm finishing up work from my old team, starting stuff with the new team. It's a whole lot.
Dang. So that's why
Yeah.
Bree's stressed. Goss, what's going on with you?
Man, listen, you ever be at the job and somebody get fired and then everybody be on their P's and Q's because that one person got fired? You're like, hold on. Hold on a second. They fired who? And you be like, oh, let me go back to my office real quick. Let me stop playing with y'all.
Yo,
Wow.
shouts out to Inez in the chat. I didn't know Inez was in Ohio too. Everybody in Ohio. Dang.
Wow.
The Levite in the building. What up, Steven? I'm trying to get my beard like you, baby.
The Levite in the background. Now which leads us to Trish. What's got you stressed out in these streets?
More specifically, it is this job situation, trying to, see if I get this job and, just the part-time jobs that I do have. One of them is a little bit more stressful than the other. So, yeah, it's a lot.
Okay.
Plus kids, you know what I mean? They keep you stressed. You know what I mean? It's good stress, though.
But
Okay.
Quote.
What's up? What's up?
One good thing did happen this week.
What's that?
My Girl Scout cookies came in.
Hey.
And these Samoans
Yeah.
are blessing my life right now. Woo, you see that? Oh my gosh.
Those used to be crack for me, but I've overcome.
You've
I've
overcome?
Wish I could say that. I got 3 boxes in the kitchen.
Listen, I'm strung out right now.
It's
Yo. So Inez is in Columbus as well. Okay, shouts out
wait.
Justin Ellis. What's up, Justin? Justin said, "What's up, Goss?"
Inez, thank you for praying for me, girl.
That's
Definitely,
right, Inez. Talk with me, Inez. Let's go.
Oh Lord.
I just feel like if you saw Inez, I know Corey would like her.
Are we back to trying to hook up Goss?
I'm putting Inez on blast right now, but
Inez, what up, though?
it's gorgeous.
Hey, yo, Rucker, what's good, Mike G? Yeah,
That's
true.
what it is. Yeah. Goss is a Columbus guy as well, Inez. So, well, he claims Columbus. He's been in Virginia most of his life, so I don't get it.
It's so
Explain
weird.
that, Goss.
yeah.
Because my parents are from Columbus.
Okay.
And my dad made us watch Ohio State football games since I was a little kid. So I had no choice but to be a Buckeye fan.
Yeah. So
And
my
then-
dude, go ahead.
And then around 9th grade, I was like, you know what? I really do like these Buckeyes. Let me go crazy with them real quick.
Hilarious.
Yo, shouts out to Kenny and Kiara in the chat as well. Listen, see, I don't get it because my whole family, including all my parents, is from Memphis, Tennessee. And I've never in my life claimed Memphis, Tennessee. I am VA all day.
There's nothing in Memphis really to claim.
But yet you were talking about vacationing in Memphis.
Vacationing?
Just a couple weeks in. Exactly. Who
Where?
in Memphis?
I'm confused.
No, I'm saying
Listen,
there's nothing there. Like I'll go visit all day. But like you saying you were from there, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing like the Grizzlies. Like when have they been good?
Yo, the FedEx joint, Bill Street. You can't go nowhere else. You know what I mean?
That's
you can't
true.
go nowhere else. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, I was in Memphis in October. and I left a party with my uncle. Shouts out to my uncle Craig. And he sent one of his boys with me to the gas station. And I was like,
See,
why's your boy with me
no thanks.
at the gas station?
Nope. Don't
Next
want
thing
it.
I know, we get to talk, and I find out he sent the hitter with me to make sure his nephew was all right.
Not the hitter.
He was looking out. I didn't even know. I was like, what? Oh, this is what's going on. My suburban self, I couldn't keep up. I'm like, okay.
My dad lived, he went to Northland High School. So wherever that area is at, that's where he lived at, Northland High School.
Okay.
I kind of claim Ohio. I lived in Cleveland for a number of years, off and on. But I don't
All
be
of y'all
like,
jokers.
yeah. My grandmother lived there, so I went every
Whoa.
summer.
If we keep it 100, a lot of good CHH came from Ohio.
I'm not saying that's not the case.
Yeah,
That's true.
Legends came from
That's
Ohio.
true.
So if we keep it in the book,
I'm not saying that's not the case. I
I
got no.
Step on CHH State. They're the most
I got no
slept on
shade. I mean, you got K Drama, you got
Yeah.
D Mob, you got Swoop. Swoop
Yeah.
in Ohio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Akron.
You got Christian.
Mhm.
You got Taylor.
Yabez,
You got Yavez.
Rack of people.
Yeah.
Slingshot. You got a lot.
Yavez was Slingshot. That was his camp.
You got a lot of people, bro.
Yeah, baby.
Taylor? Oh my goodness.
Who? I already said Taylor.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
Anyway.
I know Taylor Gray. I thought you said somebody else. I was like, who?
Anyway, definitely appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. Y'all know how we do. We're gonna hit these topics. We're gonna wild out. We're gonna try to keep this energy. Of course, the bang is on deck. Always and
I need
forever.
something. Cause I'm
You know what I'm
over
saying?
here
I don't know
like,
how y'all do it. It's late on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have a bang on deck.
It is.
That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about these topics, y'all. Let's see what we got for the week. We got a couple things here. I got to look it up myself just to keep on track.
Kiera, you ain't never lied, Kiera. You ain't never lied.
Shouts out for one to Cruz Hip Hop Corner, because I think Cruz is providing us with at least 2 or 3 of these content joints right here. So again, shouts out to them. But the first joint, of course, we're going to talk about, do mainstream hip hop artists actually know or keep up with Christian hip hop artists? We're going to talk about how artists are opting out of consideration for the Rapzilla freshman joint. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, do black and do white women love differently? And I'll probably tweak that question a little bit. That's probably the clickbait question. It'll probably be another question that gets asked there.
Let's look at Trisha's face.
And then we're going to
said-
definitely talk about your man Kanye West, because, from the Genius documentary to the Miami event last night, salutes to Kanye. We'll talk about that as well. So let's go ahead and get into these topics. First talk is up and running here. Do the mainstream culture, do they be keeping up with Christian hip hop artists? What y'all think?
Apparently.
Right.
Listen.
Apparently.
Nah, my husband said, like, even back in the day, cats was talking about cross movement. Like,
Really?
secular cats was talking about, mainstream was talking about, cross movement and some other cats. So, yeah, I mean, and come on now, the people tweeting out here, they tweeting about the CHH people. You know what I mean?
I'm saying?
Yo, you might be onto something, because there was a y'all know, like, I love battle rap. So I be watching battle rap, and the dude was talking to Saga, and one of the bars he used when he was battling Saga was something about like cross and movement, and like he was referencing cross movement.
They know about cross movement.
Like, I caught it because I know cross movement, and everybody, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? But like the people in the crowd was like, "What are you talking about cross movement?" But I'm like, "Yo, how's this cat know about cross movement?"
They be knowing.
They
Yeah,
be
my
knowing.
husband said Fonte even mentioned cross movement. Fonte, come on now.
That's something. That's something. But I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, I be hearing cats mention Lecrae all the time. Just when it comes to Christian hip hop, they definitely know Lecrae for sure. But what actually came out this week was actually kind of interesting. Is sitting here listening to Benny the Butcher talk about a certain artist. Let's check it out.
There's Donda too. Donda too in the works. So
yeah, what we doing, man? I got a verse, man. I got fire like God raps. Trust me, man. I was listening to some gospel rappers the other day.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, what's the one nigga name? Damn, I wish I knew these dudes' name, man. He got dreads, man. 1K
gospel rapper.
1K something, man.
1K something?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Okay. Shout out to him though.
Shout out to him, man.
Yeah, he knows we're talking
He knows
about.
who he is.
There's Donda too.
That's what it is. So
Yo,
of
that's
course,
fire.
yeah, of course, 1K few on the map right there. You know what I mean?
Wait, did like 1K tweet this? Like, does he know about this?
He retweeted
He tweeted
it, and then all these other CHH artists was like, "Yo, under Benny the Butcher's join." They was like, "Yo, check me out." Like a whole bunch of people was doing that. So I mean, you know,
Yo, that's fire.
It is.
That's dope. I'm not even mad at that.
I ain't either.
Yeah, so cats out here, I guess they be knowing. You know what I mean? I guess they be knowing.
How do they like?
Because look, first of all, Lecrae is like the biggest name in CHH, and he's worked with a bunch
Grammy
of
Award winning,
mainstream.
He's #1 on Billboard. So cats know Cray.
That's true. That's true.
So, and 1K Few is with Lecrae, so
right.
You know, naturally they're gonna know.
Yeah, I think cats is definitely feeling 1K overall though in general.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of cats been checking for 1K lately. Like K took a step. He took a step with the last Lecrae and him project, maybe. And I'm very interested to see what the next project is going to look like. So definitely keeping it looking out for 1K. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like Christian hip hop has been on par for the last 2 or 3 years anyway. So, I mean, it's just I think cats be knowing. I've been waiting.
Sonically, they have stepped the game all the way up, and I think that's. I mean, even though people knew about cross movement, I think like CHH rappers are actually in the conversation a little bit, at least a little bit. For somebody like Benny the Butcher, though, for me, that's major because he's like all the way like underground boom bap, like lyricist, bars on bars type of rapper. So for him to be like even checking in with them is pretty.
Yo, who was the one that Truth offended back in the day?
Nick Cannon?
No.
What?
Oh, dude, the math.
MF Doom?
No.
Somebody wanted to record with Truth in the game. I want to say it was like maybe like a Tech 9 or something like that.
Yeah. Tech 9.
Okay, Tech 9. It was Tech 9. Yeah, so Tech 9 wanted to get up with Truth, and looks like Truth shut that down all the way down. You know what I mean? And I'm not sure how much conversation took place, but it seemed like Truth was just like, nah, so that's not happening. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know how how the conversation really took place there. But shouts out to my man Kenny in the chats as well. So that's definitely one thing there. Also, I don't know if you remember when KRS was making his tour, because I want to say KRS tried to get with Cross Movement, and I want to say that didn't really work.
What?
So KRS ended up recording a joint with Tunnel Rats back in the day as well.
I think I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. And it was.
I think.
Oh yeah, CHH show well Cross Movement specifically did not mix with mainstream artists at all.
Right.
Facts.
So
Interesting. Interesting.
They should have did that though. Sorry, that.
No, for real.
Missed out. They missed out.
Y'all don't remember when KRS put out that Christian album? It was solid.
Christian album.
Yeah.
It was. I remember seeing it in Christian bookstores. I was just like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. He eventually started floating into some other stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say. I thought he was like on some other stuff.
Yeah. But it was very, very spiritually minded. Thank you, Stephen the Levite. Thank you.
He be knowing he be knowing. That's my historian right there.
Yeah. And of course, T-Bone always had them joints with a lot of West Coast cats. He would do some mainstream features and whatnot. Needed a joint with KRS. I want to say he did a joint with was it Tech 9? It was somebody on the West Coast. Some other West Coast cats as well. So So yeah, so that's what it is. So the thing is, apparently they be knowing.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been waiting for a Kanye, a Justin Bieber, a Chance the Rapper. Like, if you know, why don't you? It was Mac 10. Kenny, shouts out T-Bone and Mac 10 back then. Yes, sir. If you be knowing, why you don't put on just a little bit? I mean, it's just.
Well, Lecrae did say he turned down a tour with Justin Bieber. So Bieber tried to do more. Yes. Really? You don't remember that interview?
I don't.
I don't.
I don't either.
It was him and Andy Mineo. I want to say it was Andy's podcast. I don't know whose podcast it was. And he was crazy. And he said he was prioritizing his family at the time. So he turned down the tour with Bieber because he had just got off another tour. So he was like, yo, I turned it down because, I'm trying to be my family. I'm not really trying to tour right now, like for real.
That makes sense.
So yeah. Wow. So he was like, but the offer was out there from what he was saying.
Really?
But I don't think Kanye knows about Christian hip hop. I think he knows Christian people who do regular hip hop. But I don't like, because y'all know Kanye be in his own world.
He do. So he definitely do be in his own world.
At, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he probably don't even know that there's a whole entire genre of Christian hip hop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, once he discovers it, I can see him going crazy.
Maybe. Possibly. I feel like, I don't know. Somebody did mention
I feel like Ye know.
Yeah, somebody said Cray is hinted on waiting on Kanye vocals. Now that's interesting.
I think he was joking. I want to say I remember that, but I want to say he was joking at that time. Emma Sachs, I probably just murdered your name.
But these cats that know Lecrae, they don't know Trip Lee. Like, they don't know, like, Truth. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
They don't know the genre of Christian hip hop. They just know, Lecrae, he's that Christian dude that raps. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they know the extent of it's a whole community out here.
Cool.
Verse from J. Cole. Sorry.
Well, y'all let me know in the chat, man. What do y'all think about that whole Christian secular divide? Is it okay for your favorite Christian hip hop artist to be on a mainstream artist track? Is it okay for your mainstream artist Joker to be on a Christian hip hop track? Like, what do you guys think about that in the chat? And while we're waiting on the chat to answer that question, Rena, what do you think about that?
I mean, wasn't John Legend on Lecrae's last album?
He was.
I mean,
great track.
What was Waka Flocka?
Yeah. So
hold on, Waka was
on. He was Amen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Big Crit too on
Crit's
Gravity.
been on Craig's joint.
Crit got a joint with Corinne Hawthorne right now.
Yes, he does. I keep saying I'm gonna listen to that track, and I don't, which makes me think I did hear that track, and it just wasn't as hot as I wanted it to be. But yeah, I gotta check that track out to be sure. Goss, what you think about that whole mainstream secular situation?
I think I like it because I want it to be okay, but I'm not sure if it's okay.
Yo.
Everything in me wants it to be okay, but I'm trying to exegete what the scriptures mean when they say, that we shouldn't do that.
Light shouldn't fellowship with darkness, yada, yada, yada.
I'm trying to be like, what does this mean? Like, does doing a song with them mean that? Does partnering, like it says we shouldn't partner because we're unequally yoked and that kind of thing. Does that like do I take this for what Cross Movement says it means? Or do I take this for how Lecrae explained it and why it's okay? Or do I take this for what Swoop said? Because Swoop did a whole 30-minute sermon called David and Donda. And he explained why it was okay and did it at my church. So,
I remember that.
I'm confused, but I'm gonna lean towards it's okay because Lecrae's doing it. So
it's okay because Lecrae's doing it. Trisha, what you think about it?
I totally think it's fine. The thing about like that, like being unequally yoked, is more so referring to like you doing life with somebody that's not equally yoked with you. Like, you're not doing life with these people. This is a job. Like, it's a job. And for Christians who do it, it's also part of their ministry as well. And so I think, like, just doing a song with somebody, I mean, look, I always take this analogy. Lawyers, Christian lawyers, right? They work with unbelievers on a regular basis. Christian workers who do things that aren't Christian work with unbelievers on a regular basis. So it's not like, it's the same thing. Like, I know people be like, oh no, it's different. I'm like, no, show me how it's different. Show me how it's different. It's the same thing. So I don't see anything wrong with it. If anything, it's like you being able to build relationship with somebody for a chance to preach the gospel. Like, what's wrong with that? You know what I mean? So I think we just got to think a little bit more logically about that.
Yeah, I remember when I was growing up, just from a narrow-minded standpoint, I used to think that in my brain, I was like, it's okay for us to be on their stuff, but it's not okay for them to be on our stuff. It's for us to infiltrate their fan base, but not for them to infiltrate our fan base. That was my thought process as a kid growing up, and maybe in my early 20s. But now I'm like,
it's like the gospel community doesn't seem to have a problem with that though
at all.
I mean,
at all.
It's just like I've only noticed like that's an issue in CHH, but like Teddy Riley worked with the Winans, they work with R. Kelly, and I'm just like Kirk Franklin has worked with everybody. So it's just like it's an issue in CHH, and I'm just like, why?
That is so freaking true.
It's that thing with like when you grew up in black church and they told you that you can't listen to secular music, but they was only talking about hip hop, right?
Exactly.
So
and sexual R&B.
Yeah. But like you throw on Temptations, there's nothing wrong.
I'm sorry, sexual R&B that happened after the 90s.
Right.
Because if you put on Marvin Gaye, they was about it.
Yeah,
Rick James, they was about it.
Yeah, so I think that's the mentality because of what hip hop represents. Sometimes they're like, no, that's super bad. You can't merge or mesh with any rapper because of what it represents.
Yeah,
and that sometimes it's either two things. That ideal has stuck with us into our adulthood, or it's a thing of just like we said the other day on our other podcast, Cash is just tired of following rules, so they made stuff less of a sin. Because if the masses do it, now it's less of a sin. But if a small part of people of Christianity is doing it, it's still sinful.
Yeah.
So we're talking about like, you know what I'm saying, like the stuff that we all want to do now, then it's all good because everybody's doing it. I think that's what it is.
Let's go to the chat. If y'all see stuff on the chat, just holler it out real quick.
Yes. Inez asked if we remember G. Craig Lewis.
He's still around. He just made a video about the Super Bowl.
Oh Lord.
He is a hot mess.
Stay away, stay away, stay away, stay away. That dude used to do some very irresponsible moves back in the day. I never forget when he copied all these names off of the Holy Hip Hop website. He just literally copied and pasted all these names and put it on his joint and said, do not listen to these people. And he did not know these people, had never heard their music or anything. It just, and that was constantly his things. Don't listen to this urban music, Christian music. But by the way, pick up my CD for yada, 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 yada. Man, we rolled up on G. Craig a couple times.
His logic is terrible.
He rapped?
He did something. I don't know. He just would be like, buy my CD. I was never gonna check out the CD. It was never gonna happen.
Absolutely not.
I think he was I think he used to be like a secular rapper or something back in the day, and then he started rapping. I don't remember. All I remember is that man, his followers though. You listen, don't have no argument online with them because they are relentless.
Inez was like, yo, Kirk Franklin got ripped a new one back in the day for that. And he did, but for real, the ones that really got ripped a new one back then, and the cats don't even be shouting out like BB and CC used to get
sure did.
New ones, I mean, like for real. Cats was always coming at BB&C. So shout out to Stephen and Levite. That Fred Hammond Questlove interview, y'all got to check that out on Questlove Supreme. I heard part 1. I'm going to say part 2 dropped today or yesterday. I've been meaning to get to part 2. I haven't checked that out. But yeah, y'all definitely want to check that out. Fred is dropping all kinds of jewels in that joint.
I agree with you, Aisha. I do agree with Aisha on that. Like what she's saying, I think CHH artists have to draw the line somewhere and use lots of discernment in doing so. And will this bring honor or dishonor to God? I totally, I agree with that. Like, you definitely have to be wise about who you gonna link up with and do songs with, because for me, it's like if you over here talking about bust it open and do all this other stuff, like no, I don't think that's gonna work.
Wait, why can't do a song with the City Girls?
No, I do want to see Mary collab with the City Girls, though. I still want that.
But Tasha Cobb definitely had a girl
with Nicki Minaj.
Had Nicki.
She did. You the same energy, Tasha.
Yeah. So,
but I think Nicki she respected.
There was. Yeah. You could tell there was a show enough respect from Nicki concerning. You could see that. You could see that for sure.
Yeah.
Nah, because Trish. Oh, you're saying the content on the track. You're saying you can't be talking about busted wide open.
Yeah.
You talking about I'm strictly talking content on the track. Like
that's what I'm saying.
I meant like
they do that in their own songs.
Yeah, and then can't go do a song.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying on the track that you're specifically as the CHH artist is going to be on with this person. Like, it ain't gonna match. It ain't gonna work.
I don't know.
I don't get mad at mainstream people for rapping or singing about some garbage stuff and then turn it around and do a gospel joint or whatever. I don't get mad at them for that, because at the end of the day, they was placed on this earth to praise God. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So what, you gonna just get in the way of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. So
yes, Toby, I was gonna say this earlier too. Toby did he's done tracks with everybody, and he's not necessarily CHH, but he's a Christian rapper. So like nobody had nothing to say to Toby because he's not labeled CHH. I think he gets away with more than anybody else.
Definitely. I mean, I hate to say it, but it was a wise thing for him to do, and I don't think Bizzle was one of the cats that said early in the game he tried to reach out to Toby and be like, "Yo, do not come this way." Do not come this way. And I know even as promoters, you know what I mean? I know I've reached out to him for different events that me and Goss had. And I reached out to Toby like, "Yo, we want to have you at this Christian show." And guess what I heard? Crickets. Because they warned that dude. They said, "Don't be out here rapping in a bunch of churches." They said, "Don't do it." So, like I said, everybody's got their place. Everybody's got their different purpose, their different graces. You know what I mean? But I get it. You know, if you want to do the Christian hip hop thing, do the Christian hip hop thing. If that's what God is leading you. If you want to be a little bit more ambiguous, give me the word.
Ambiguity?
Thank you, Trisha. If you want to be more of that, ambiguous is what I'm looking for. Then definitely, if as long as your conviction is what it is, I ain't gonna hate on that. I think Asha said, "What did y'all think about the Snoop gospel album?"
Heck no, Snoop's gospel album was the epitome of appropriation.
Ooh, wait,
the epitome of appropriation.
Appropriation of gospel? Is that
yes. Absolutely.
He had some joints on there, though.
He sure did. Because Sunshine, I mean,
in that record.
You said what?
Snoop was saying in that record about God.
I mean,
nope.
I really didn't check it out like talking about. I might have listened to it all one time through. And that was it. So
I don't believe Snoop was a Christian. I don't care.
Oh no, absolutely not.
No. I'm not saying Snoop was a Christian.
That album was about his upbringing, though. Like,
he said he did that for his mom or his grandma or whatever the case may be. So that's happening. Yeah. Shout out to Charles Brown in the chat. Did you go back to Living Color? Yo, Men on Film hated it. Like, did you just do that? Shouts out to you. Well, that's what it is, y'all, about these mainstream cats checking out for these Christian hip hop artists. Let's go on to the next topic. So Artists is out here just opting out of Rapzilla freshman consideration. They's like, yo, we is out of here. We good. You know what, Rapzilla? We good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And of course, one of the main ones to do this was your girl Portia Love. And she put, listen, I appreciate what they've done. It's just not fair for women to be supported only when they are popular. I was definitely snubbed last year, so me being selected didn't feel genuine. And she was like, y'all can keep that. Apparently 4 or 5 other, I'm hearing actually it was a total of 6. So I'm hearing that 5 other cats actually opted out as well. And so the other cats, I really didn't know as much. I got some of their names, but I honestly just really didn't know them enough to really go that. But what do y'all think about cats opting out of the Rapzilla list? Like freshman list used to be what everybody wanted to be on.
I love this.
What's going on?
I love this energy, especially the reasoning. Nah, back then didn't want me. Now I'm hot. You all on me? Let's go.
Listen,
come on, Portia, talk to these people.
And she's right. She's right.
I'm about to be on my Sue Surf real quick. All right, because they think that you can just pop in and come up off of my come up, but when I was trying to come up, you weren't trying to look out. You feel me? So when Portia Love got the records out now, she's been on a few Reach projects, cats knowing her name a little bit, and then the blogs and publications want to attach themselves to her. And then they think, oh, she's going to need us now because we're, this, and she's trying to get the come up. But she pulled the whole okie doke on them. So I'm feeling this, like, nah, like I'm good. Like I'm P Love out here. Like y'all might need me more than I need you. You feel me? I'm feeling this move, bro. Yo, Portia, holla at the kid. We can do this, yo. Listen. Like, I'm sorry, I'm going crazy.
You're mad excited.
Let him use you.
Feel me, right? Because, this gives so much power to the artist, and it also makes people raise their eyebrows like, oh, we can do this? We can opt out of the most popular Christian hip-hop blog, and we don't have to, we don't need them? Oh, wow. And I can still because for Christian hip hop, this is when Source Magazine was a thing. This is like trying to get, XXL. This is like saying, hey, I don't need your freshman 15. I don't want to do none of that stuff. I'm good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that's the equivalent to what it is for Christian hip hop. So to make a statement like that, 1 is major in itself, and then 2 to be a female and make that statement. Woo! I'm loving all this energy. Tell Portia call me Portia. We can.
Yeah. No, that's definitely what it is, no doubt. Bree, what did you think about that?
Well, when I saw Portia's comment, I thought I understood why she declined. I'd still like to see why the others did, though.
Yeah. No, I
like that was what. Yeah, that's what I was wondering about.
Some of the other names, because I don't know these cats: Gabby Callwood, Caleb Gordon, Drew Barclay, Henrik. Oh, these are some of the other names.
That too?
Yeah.
Wow.
Why did
Caleb Gordon? I think I do know that name. Yeah.
And Gabby she's a famous TikToker. I saw her on TikTok months ago, and I was like, oh snap, she dope. But she's like gaining an audience quickly.
Yeah, crazy.
So I think she probably felt the same way. Like, I don't really need this. Like,
Cats is taking the power back, bro.
And Jude is a producer for a lot of cats that have been on Reach Records, and so I feel like he's already doing his thing, and you know what I mean. So it's kind of like maybe some of them, I don't know, maybe some of them backed up because they want to let others get the the place. I don't know. Who knows?
And let me be clear too. Like, when I gave my whole entire spiel, I'm not throwing a shot at Rapzilla saying that they're no longer relevant or nothing like that. But I just like it when the playing field is equal now, to where artists have the ability to say, I don't have to do this. I don't want to do this, and I necessarily don't need it anymore. Because love the Rapzilla. They post our stuff on Domination every year. You know what I'm saying? They do what they do. And they get the stuff out there that needs to get out there. But I'm saying from the standpoint of it's not a thing of you have to do this or you won't succeed, right?
Right.
Because that's how it kind of feels like sometimes. So that's what I'm saying when I like I'm happy because it's more power to the artists than it is the blogs. Feel me?
Yeah, and so well, go ahead. You about to say something, Trish?
Yeah, I just wanted to. Go ahead. I'll go last if you want. I have.
No. Go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead.
So yeah, I was just gonna say in light of Portia specifically, you know, Portia was doing her thing way before, you know, she got on Reach. She was, you know, putting out music regularly, and that's why she felt like she got snubbed. And I think I just have to say this, you know, it's for the, of course, women in CHH already don't get looked at, right? So, you know, when that happened and she felt like she got snubbed, she talked about it, I think, a little bit openly back last year. And so a lot of people was like, well, how come such and such got it? And, you know, even I think AI got it one year, and AI was like, I don't even know why I got it, because I've been doing, I had a couple records. I thought somebody else should have got it. Like, she even said that. So, you know, I think it's very interesting the way that they choose the freshmen. It's like people who are already on, which to me, that if you're a freshman, that means you're coming up. You know what I mean? I think the whole meaning behind it, it's not matching. You know what I mean? And so I think, you know, when she got snubbed, she was like, oh, okay, I see what it is, you know, and no diss to what Rapzilla has done and is doing for artists, because I think they are necessary for the genre, right? They are the biggest platform for the genre specifically, right? But, you know, you got to be wise about the way you move in these streets. Like, Portia's been on Revolt TV. Like, she don't need to be on, you know, a Rapzilla freshman list. You know what I mean? So I think it probably, if I was her, I would feel like the same way. I definitely would feel the same way. So I get it.
Yeah, I definitely think Rapzilla maybe we didn't look, right? Maybe as a fan base or whatever, we didn't look hard enough. But I feel like Rapzilla probably needed to further clarify what it means and what is the criteria behind being a freshman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We know what it sounds like. It sounds like New Kid on the Block, up and coming talent. But what are the real criteria for being a freshman? I think is what we probably need to get some heads up on. And then there was some confusion about maybe once you were nominated for a freshman one time, like you couldn't do it again. So that was some confusion there, it seemed like. So like, what is the criteria? I think that might need to be a little bit more public.
Yeah.
On one hand. On the other hand, you know, and you listen. Shouts out to Rapzilla. Shouts out to their longevity, their consistency, yada, yada, over the years. But when you're the biggest fish in the game, cats gonna throw stones at you, and that's what it is, and that's what I'm about to do. So, so listen.
I wasn't ready for
all
that.
due respect.
I wasn't ready.
So what you did.
So hey,
all due respect.
With all due respect, respectfully, listen. Sometimes it really seems like Rapzilla puts on those who are already working with Rapzilla. Even for the freshman list or whatever the case may be, people they already have ties to specifically. So there's, you know, a little bit of bias there, possibly a little bit as well. You know, I haven't always found the freshman list to be the list that introduced me to new talent that I really wanted to hear. And that wasn't just now, but this was even back in the day. Yeah. And then my last rock is back in the day, there used to be a really big Christian hip hop platforms. And in my opinion, they was always ran by majority culture folk.
Well,
and I love what I'm starting to see now as you're seeing more of the people who represent the artists. You know, it's like the NFL owners, right? Or NFL coaches. You got 70% black players, but then the coaches is all white except for Tomlin, right? into Tomlin and Rivera, I guess you could say, Latino. But it's like that, right? And so what you would see in Christian hip hop is you would see most of the Christian hip hop artists were black, but all the juggernauts heading up the conferences and the media cats and some of the label cats and all that stuff. A lot of these cats, back in the day, not maybe 5-10 years ago, even, they were all white. And it was really kind of peculiar, you know what I mean? But now, within the last probably 3 or 4 years at least, you're starting to see a lot more of the, let me just call it what it is, black representation amongst managers, promoters, media outlets in the game. Mm-hmm. Also, there used to be a real separation where now you're seeing these entities come together more and rock with each other more and different things of that nature. So, so that is what it is. We got Wado in the building.
Wado!
So shouts out to DJ Wado. He said, I just came in, but this is facts. We try, you know what I mean? We try. So I love seeing this though, what we're seeing, because I can hit up trap stars. I can hit up Ruslan, you know what I mean? And he's not necessarily, but you're seeing more unity amongst us. You're seeing Cruise hip hop. I can hit up Jay. Like we're blending, we're helping to promote and big up each other a lot more than when, like I said, a Rapzilla was a little bit more excluded. Maybe a Jam the Hype might have been a little bit more excluded at the time, different things of that nature. So we're starting to see that for sure. And I love it. I love it.
I can't lie. Sorry, go ahead, guys.
Remember when New York hip hop was like running everything, like back in like 90s and 2000s, and then like out of nowhere the South just came up, and everybody started sounding like the South. Everybody wanted to work with cats in the South. It was crazy, right? That is true still. Because the South got it that they had to stick together in order to beat this juggernaut up in New York.
Yeah.
So everybody in New York, everybody in the South was going crazy. Like, and then you start seeing artists just pop, go crazy all over, simply because it was, we're going to stick together and we're going to do what we got to do and we're going to hold it down, especially in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So I think that's what it is with the Tastemakers, the Track Stars, Cruise Hip Hop, and then all the other stuff going on. And you got the juggernaut that is Rapzilla. Respectfully to them, they've been doing their thing for a minute, but that's like New York hip hop, and we like the South right now.
I think your analogy is factual. I absolutely hate your analogy as an East Coast head. Oh man, I so hated when the South got let in. I was
like my husband
when the South got let in. Oh, I was upset, and I think it was your man. Actually, it was Lean Back, which was produced by Lil Jon, that really was the one that kicked the door open. Like, yo, and then everything became that sound, and and the Laughing Tabbies came right along with that.
I loved
everything else.
I loved it.
I hated
it.
Absolutely hated it.
I loved it. Outkast, like my favorite.
I love Outkast, but Outkast was different. Come on,
nah, I mean, you're right.
Outkast, everybody in the Dungeon family was acceptable.
For sure.
They got in, you know what I
mean? Yeah.
Trying to tell you, it's real out here.
Oh man!
But you're right. You're right, Corey. Yeah. I think you're spot on. I respect them, and I think that even though it's been run by majority culture, I think that regardless of what you do, if you are the head executive and you're the minority, but you're the majority culture, right? You're the minority in the sense of like everybody around you is a different, cultural background. I think you have to move a certain type of way. You got to move with wisdom. You got to move with lead with love, think about others, be collaborative, be open to being more collaborative, care, be caring. I think that's just something that you have to do. And when you don't move like that, people see that. And I'm not saying that that's been their intention. I'm saying that has been the how people feel. I mean, come on. Like people who have ever worked with Rapzilla, they have the same type of, thing to say about it. And so I think, you just have to be wise about the way you move. And so that's all. I mean, I respect to Chad, like, respect to all of them, Justin, all of them. Like I talk to them regularly, but it's just, I think it's just, you just got to be wise. That's it.
Cole, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I was y'all hear me?
Well, we can't hear you, bro.
There we go. My bad. When you hit mute so people don't hear you sniffing because my nose is congested. But listen, we're Rapzilla. We respect the consistency. We respect the longevity. We respect them being the biggest fish in the pond for a long time. And even now, right? But when you're the biggest fish, cat's going to throw stones. That just comes along with the territory. So I'm sure they got tough enough skin that they could take it.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? Listen. Definitely appreciate everybody in the chat. I think I saw Tosh in the building. What's poppin', Tosh? But yeah, somebody said it, and it's so true. Like, yo, most of the cats, none of the cats coming out of the South sounded like Outcasts. Not at all. None of them did. If we would have got a bunch of Outcasts, a bunch of Goody Mobs, a bunch of CeeLo, we got a lot of that. You know what I mean? That'd have been one thing, but that's not what we got. That is not what we got. So anyway, that is what it is. The freshman list seems to not be what it once was. And the desire to be there by artists seems to be changing.
Shout out to Just Raised from the 757. He's also on that list.
Okay, definitely. That's what it is. On to the next. All right, so this topic is a little bit more clickbaity, if you ask me. I'm probably going to twist up the conversation just a little bit than be what we actually put on the joint. If you don't mind hitting that banner real quick, Bree. The question is, do Black women and white women, do they love differently? All right? I don't know if I even have to say who this question came from, but I'm going to say that was the clickbait topic. And I'm going to talk to you guys just about in general, like, what's it like, or what do you guys feel like it's like to be in an interracial relationship? You know what I'm saying?
Somebody said, I'm going to sit this one out.
Charles said, I'm going to sit this one out. Oh, Lord. But yeah, so I'm going to change. Do y'all tastemakers, did y'all want to get into do white and Black women love differently, or can I change the topic a little bit?
You can change it up because I can't really answer that question with a like I don't really know because I'm not a white woman. I've never been with a white woman. I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you from what I've observed, but I don't. Yeah, that wouldn't necessarily.
Josh, you got anything before I completely change this topic to fit the PC culture that?
Are you changing the whole joint?
Well, I told you what I just changed the topic to.
I got thoughts and opinions.
Go ahead.
So I'm probably the only one on this podcast.
Here we go. Here we go. Go ahead.
You're putting your business out there now. Come on now.
Nah, I'm not. Nah, I mean, I'm not ashamed of nothing.
I know, and I said, don't be putting your business.
That's what I do. People love me for put my business out.
Yo.
So like I was saying,
my light hasn't been on. You know what? We're gonna keep it off for the rest of the show. Go ahead.
So like I was saying, I'm probably the only one on this podcast that has had interactions. I would say not like romantically, like had sex, but like have had like intimate interactions with probably both white women and Black women alike, right?
Back in the day, really early in my life, yes. And then I married. I'm married a Brazilian, which I mean is straight out of African culture. If
that ain't white. Knows, she ain't white.
But I think there still is a difference between Black American and even African.
Absolutely.
Tell me when I say this though. When we're talking about love differently, I'm not talking about just romantically. I'm talking about the word love in general, right? Like we love things. You feel me? Like, I love ice cream. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I love my water that I drink, right? Right? Okay. But I think culturally, we learn how to love differently. Culturally, there are norms how Black women love somebody and how white women love somebody. For sure. So I am not talking about just sex and just, like romantically and like attractionally. But I'm talking about the all-encompassing word of love. Can I preach on tonight?
Lord.
Now. Here come here.
Kiara said, "Here go Hotep Toya." Okay.
Now listen.
Right, go for it.
Now listen. I was raised by a Black mama and daddy. Okay.
Okay.
And I was shown a lot of love from my mother. Okay. And I was shown what it feels like to be loved by a Black woman. The first Black woman that ever loved me was my mama. Okay. You understand? Mm-hmm. And that was an intense emotional love. Don't nobody love like a Black woman or a Black mama.
Okay.
You feel me? So
what you're saying is white mothers don't love their children as much as Black mothers?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You said don't nobody love like a Black mama. That's what you said.
Why are you interrupting the pastor?
I'm just saying. That's what you
said. Send me an email later. Send me an email later. Could we set up a meeting with you and the rest of the board? Exactly. Oh, wow. You know how this goes. You've been in church long enough.
Aisha, you're right. You're right about that, Aisha, for sure. That's a for sure fact right there.
So, I grew up in everything Black, right? Went to a all-Black private school, went to an all-Black church, went to a HBCU. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what it means when Black women say, "Yo, I love you. Like, that's my purple, that's my people, that's my person. Like, I want to make sure you eat. Right? My mom was taking care of me. I want and dad too. I want to make sure that you know that you're coming from a loving family. Like, everything in there was good to go, and they showed me love in a way that I feel like is just completely different than how I'm in this white sphere now. And when the white people, specifically white women, show love as well too. So for me, a Black woman's love when it comes to a relative, that's like just untouchable. I feel like that's just different. Like, that's just another level for sure. But now if we're switching to like a romantic side, or we're switching to somebody that doesn't know you and it's a platonic, or not, matter of fact, not even romantic, because we don't even got to talk about romantic, but just the platonic side, it is different. There is a difference from my experience, and it's just my experience. I'm not saying this is how it is across the board. I'm not saying this is how it. No, folks, I'm not speeding it up because I'm going to get misquoted. No, I'm not, because I'm going to get misquoted, and I want to clearly explain what I'm saying, and we don't have time to wrap this up. We got time tonight.
All right, we got time tonight.
Now, I feel like there is a different way that you are treated and that you are heralded, if you will. If somebody says they love you and they're a Black woman versus a Black a Black woman versus a white woman, right? Like I've heard I've have friends that are married to white women and they have dated Black women, and they say, "Yo, listen, it's a totally different experience. This girl treats me like a king. She she does. She's like one of the greatest blessings ever to come into my life." Right now,
you've heard this, okay?
I'm not naive. I understand that there are different traumas and experiences that Black people in general experience. So sometimes our love is a little complicated. So it's not as I can love you because I don't have any issues going on over here, right? So I get that as well too. Black love is complicated sometimes. Black love it runs deep, right? And Black women aren't always aren't always appreciated the right way. They're not loved the right way, so therefore they may not know how to love somebody correctly. I'm with that.
Get all these disclaimers out. Go ahead.
No, it's not disclaimers. It's facts.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you because it is facts. Go for it.
You're right. Yeah.
So yeah, for sure. So when I'm talking to my black male friends who are married to white women and they're telling me their experience, like we typically would want to go with the experience that's going to be less stressful or it's going to be less it's not going to make you like maybe not question, but like it's I can come home right from a hard day at work maybe.
He said less stressful.
This is not my experience.
Where you about to go with this? Go ahead.
Listen. This is not my experience. This is my friend's experience. They're telling me.
Kiara said, "I'm hollering over here. Corey trying not to burn bridges on tonight." Go ahead. Walk that fine line. Walk that fine line.
I don't have no problem walking. Don't worry.
Okay.
If I gotta step on toes, that's what happens. Okay, it is what it is.
All right, go ahead.
So it's not a bunch of maybe a little sass, a little assertiveness, a little attitude, a little like, yo, relax. Why you asking me 50 million 11 questions? Like, yo, I'm like, I've heard like sometimes these men get interrogated as if they're doing something wrong, as if they have have been out doing something that they weren't supposed to do, and that wasn't even the case. But because black men don't cheat. First of all, that's a good one quote. You're right. Black men don't cheat.
I ain't gonna let y'all do that.
Okay. Tell him.
No.
But they say that when they come home to their wives that happen to be white.
Hold on. I've got to interrupt. Kenny, he's gonna be back next week. Like I kissed my new white boy in the mouth. The prophet. The prophet Kenny over here. The prophet. I would not be surprised, Kenny, if something like that was to happen. With your prophetic word. Go ahead, Doris, you were saying?
So they say that it's a peaceful experience when they're dealing with their white women. They say it's a encouraging and a affirming experience and a experience that is completely different than what they had when they were trying to build something with their queen, but the queen wouldn't let them be great. And the queen didn't necessarily understand them the way that they needed to be understood in that moment. Now, for me, now I'm not saying that I wouldn't. I'm just saying I'm giving you opinions of what my brothers who are dating white women. And
that's like put the onus on them, not you. Go ahead.
No, but I'm not mad. So no.
I'm joking.
So now back to me, right? So me being in these spaces now, where I'm not like doing crazy stuff as far as like I'm not like dating. I shouldn't say crazy. I'm not doing things because that sounds bad.
I'm lying.
Right, exactly. Like I'm not in a relationship romantically with the white woman, but I am in a relationships with the white culture, which involves women, right? So with that, I do sense some of what they're saying simply because I experience it where I go at and things and people I'm around and my job and things like that. And it is a little different.
You don't have to be challenged.
No, it's not about being challenged. Okay. Why am I getting challenged for something that I'm not doing? If I tell you I'm not.
No.
Again, because black men don't cheat.
Not even cheating. No. We're not talking about cheating.
What I'm saying, let me ask you, you're saying that it's different. Do you mean different by easier to be around women who are white than black women? Let's just say it. I mean, we got to tiptoe around it.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I wouldn't say easier. I would say it's a, because I think they're both not hard necessarily. But I would say, in my experience, it is a more, what's the word I want to use? I probably need to read more books. It is a more,
Are you gonna say uplifting or affirming, or what are you gonna say?
Like you feel like yo, like I can do like what I need to do. Like I don't have to worry about like her questioning what I'm doing. Or I don't gotta worry about her like thinking I'm doing something wrong when I'm not. I don't gotta worry about a lot of like just different things that sometimes you have to worry about with other cultures.
Like what? Do you gotta be clear? Because
with your own culture, you're saying.
I'm trying to understand
other
what
cultures,
you're saying.
Not my own.
Cultures.
Other.
Okay.
Other cultures. Now we know in America, white and black is the like majority. Like that's not majority, but that's the ones that people always go to.
White and black are theoretically. Well, no. Latinos have taken over a second.
No, you're right.
Or are they taking over? Yeah, one of you.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, yes, I do believe they love differently, but there is factors to why they love differently. You know what I'm saying?
Like I'm okay. I hear that you said that a couple times. Like, can you give examples? Because I think that's where I'm like, so, I'm trying. I think
the example he gave was that.
Okay, I'll give one. I'm sorry. I feel like they cater.
You all out.
They cater. They cater better to the relationship.
Cater? In what ways?
They cater better to the relationship not better, differently than they cater differently to the relationship that they're currently in. So like again, I'm not in a relationship with a white woman, but I'm in a relationship with white people, and some of them happen to be women, right? Mm-hmm. So when I go to work, it's a thing of, hey, whatever you need, we're gonna make it happen. Like that's the vibe. Like whatever you need done, like we're gonna try and make this happen for you. And it's not I'm not doing that. Listen, we only gonna do this. Like it's a more what's the word? It's a more
easier. I feel like you're trying to say easier, less challenging.
It's not easy though. It's not easy because it's not easy.
He already said less stressful.
Less stressful.
Okay. I heard that.
Stressful. It didn't know it for real.
He said catering.
He did.
Yeah. So catering's one. I feel like they're like
Kieran is stupid. Go ahead.
What'd she say?
Go ahead. Kieran said, so is this a resource issue?
Not a resource issue. So yeah, I'll use the example of catering as one. And then I'll think of some more as y'all reply to what I'm saying. Go ahead, Dan.
So, I mean, come on. I mean, so what Goss is obviously talking about is a trope that we've heard for years, right? This is the stereotype of what we're talking about is nothing new, right? Everybody knows what is being said. No, yay, right? The stereotype. We're not saying.
I think that I know the stereotype, but I think I was trying to get a more clear reason from Corey as to why it's different. And like, it's hard being a Black woman and hearing a Black man say that about like it's less stressful around white women.
So I hear that it's hard, but what if, and of course, none of this is 100%. We're dealing in generalities or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
What
if, like Tasha, I'm not saying, or Trisha, I'm not saying that you're stressful to like people.
No, I know you're not.
What if what he's saying from his friend's perspective is true to them?
And my perspective too, as far as working with them in not romantic relationships, but just like working in relationships with them.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I think clearly about it, you know, I feel like even I grew up in more white spaces. So I was always the minority, always, up until probably college. So I have it just hits different for me.
What's money got to do with here?
No, it just hits different for me because I've been you know what? I ain't gonna talk about this. Because I feel like it could go to the left. But it's triggering a little bit. I'll say that it's triggering a little bit, like, because when you try to cater to people, right? Because I feel like I've always been, and I know you're not talking about me specifically, but I know many other Black women who have felt the way that I feel. You know what I mean? And so
which is, you were saying?
Just having to be catering to them and to others, Black, white, whoever, just because
and people not catering back.
And absolutely. So I think like hearing you say that is kind of like it's like a punch to the gut. Like, wait,
got
what?
you.
For reference, again, he was speaking for a friend.
Right.
Okay.
But he said, but he also said for himself. He also
Patricia. But in my context was working relationships.
I know. I'm still referring to that. You're still agreeing with your friends. Like it's less stressful and they're more catering and they're more likely to be more helpful. And I'm like, man, like what like what type of Black women have you been around? And so it's just, I don't know. It's
No, I feel you. you. And that's why I wanted to make it clear. Like, I'm not saying this about like, I'm not drawing a paintbrush against the whole race of Black women.
I know.
But I'm saying like the ones that I have seen, like this is just my perception from what I've seen, my experiences. So when I've seen growing up in an HBCU, or growing up, but being in an HBCU, being in an all-Black church, being in these Black experiences, it just seems like sometimes it's more of a struggle when we trying to get stuff done. It's like less of a struggle on this side. And I think we can even connect this with Black and white church. Me and Quote we went to white churches, and like there's things we just don't got to deal with at white churches that we got to deal with at Black churches.
So as with everything though, there are pros and cons, right?
Sure.
There are pros and cons as with everything. Charles put, men are looking for women to be their place of peace. Mm-hmm. And if a woman brings constant argument and challenge, quote unquote, the man can feel that they can get a better trade-off elsewhere. And I think he's putting, that's not about race. That's just about I think that's what he's trying to say there. I think, I could be wrong. Charles, correct me that last sentence there, or whatever the case may be. So there's pros and cons to all of this, right? Like, I think Tasha put earlier, as a Black people, all of us need therapy, like nobody's business, right? Like we have been through, we have been through, you know what I'm saying? And we try to microwave it, and technology makes it seem like it was so long ago, but y'all, Emmett Till was 67 years ago.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Civil rights movement was 50 some odd years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like this is no time. All right? Black people have been through a lot. There's a lot of trauma there. And I would even say there are certain systems that have been built up to separate the Black and the white, the Black man and the Black woman. Absolutely. Yada, 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 boom, boom, boom. All this case may be. This stereotype, per se, that Black women are difficult or whatever the case may be, this is a stereotype that we've heard for a long time. Now, let the numbers speak for themselves. At the end of the day, Black people still end up marrying Black people more times than not. You know what I mean? So let's not just totally fall into these different tropes. Black men love Black women. Black women love Black men. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So we always want to do that. Make sure we acknowledge all of that.
I'm marrying a Black girl. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, and to be honest with you, I always thought that I would have done the same. I went the long route though. Most of the slave trade went to South America, so I went that route, right? I went the Brazilian route. I wanted African mixed with Portuguese, mixed with Indian, Brazil. That's what happened to me somehow. Yeah. My point is there is pros and cons to all this. Love my wife, love my family, love what we've built, love what we have. But you have to understand, there are some things, some black things, Black American things, because let's not get this twisted. We're talking Black American. We're not even necessarily talking a Black diaspora. You know what I'm saying? We're talking Black American, right? And so there are things as a black man married to a Brazilian woman that I can't culturally lean on because theoretically a black woman would understand more or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So pros and cons to all of this.
100%. And for me, that's one of the major reasons why I will probably marry black. Is because I'm just like, I just can't, like, you gotta know the culture, bro. Like, I can't be with somebody my whole entire life. And like, I gotta like tiptoe around and like can't say certain, like, nah, yo, I gotta be able to be free. So yes, 100%. So like, I don't want you to, I don't want it to seem like I'm arguing for white women because I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm just posing the question.
Yeah. Taishan said, when you are a black Christian woman in white spaces, you are invisible. And I think I could definitely relate to that. Like growing up in white Christian schools in a Southern Baptist private Christian school in Biloxi, Mississippi, and they racist as jacks. I'm the only black kid in my class. And that always kind of being the case for me. Like when you said that, it just like, I was like, wait, like, right. It just, and that what she said, I resonate with that. You know what I mean? I don't know what it means to not be catering. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I know you're not talking about me specifically, but it's like, and I do know there are some women, black, white, Hispanic, who, all different cultures who are very difficult, who can be difficult or challenging, who always are questioning or whatever. And I think that's just definitely based on your culture, based on the trauma you've experienced, your brokenness that has not been healed, all of that, it plays a part. So I totally, and then I understand.
A lot of that, again, is I still say stereotype tropish, sure. The same way the violent black man or the angry black man is, you know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be as well. And for whatever reason, a lot of times, well, anyway, I won't even say that. All right, I got to do it. All right. So a lot of times, for whatever reason, the black men who are with sisters who are maybe more peaceful or catering, they refuse to speak up for whatever reason. Like, and I don't know if that's like, I don't know what that is. So anyway, but yeah, so that's
they Latin, Kiera, because they Latin. They come with the spice.
Why is that level of spicy? So actually, I'm gonna let you know what this is, Kiera. What this is, what I think it is, well, two things, and this is not good stuff. This is bad stuff that I'm about to say. One, I think there is and you see this with white men who date black women, right? There's that thrive of the quote unquote exotic or whatever the case may be. I ain't gonna front. I spent many hours talking to my wife on the phone when we met, and that accent, yeah, that kind of got me. You know what I mean? The accent kind of got me. Another thing, though, is stereotypically, unfortunately, and even to a fault, because the machismo from Latino men, the stereotypical of Latino men, was that they were, the wife beater comes from a certain culture, that the shirt, and so y'all know what I'm going with that. Mm-hmm. So theoretically, the woman, Latino woman would seem to be more submissive, as the Latino man, the machismo would unfortunately sometimes, all this is stereotypically, right? So I think that plays a part too. So yeah. Interesting topic. We all need therapy. Let's do that. There's pros and cons to everything. You better know that. The grass is not always greener. We always preach that. You work with what you can deal with and what you can work with. And I ain't gonna front with you. All my life, I thought I was gonna marry a sister. And guess what? I didn't. And guess what? I'm happy. Lord bless me.
Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me in the chat. I love y'all.
And had I married a sister, I'm sure the Lord would have blessed me there too. I tried to make it happen. I tried a lot of times. But anyway, all right, so that is that topic. Brina, you did not get in on that one right there. Any last thoughts on that, Bree?
No, I'm a hold my peace.
Nah, don't hold that piece. Shoot that Shoot,
I mean,
Brina,
I'm a whole
my peace. Let
it's
the
kind of
Lord fight
like
my
it's
battles.
kind of
No,
like
go ahead.
I don't know. I took an exit somewhere around less stressful, and I never got over that. So I'm struggling. Jesus,
You triggered. You was triggered. Sis.
I really was.
Telling you.
I've been in my feelings ever since.
Me too.
Brina, let's have a conversation.
Oh
Brina.
wow!
Like, nah, I'm done.
So before we get out of this though, because Tasha's in the conversation, she said also men in the Black community raise and perpetuate the culture of expecting Black women to settle and putting their best foot forward for other women. So my question is, are they putting their best foot forward for other women, or have they already achieved certain levels of success? I think of your athletes and whatever the case may be. And now they're quote unquote in new circles. And then therefore that happens. Is it that they're putting their best foot forward for these other women, or have they already done what they needed to do and then
I don't agree with that, Tash.
That's my question.
I agree with it. I do.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're putting their best foot forward for these other women. Not that they've already achieved levels of success before these women came along.
Not at all. The same way that y'all got hot about me saying what I say, like I could get hot about this, but I understand it's a conversation and this is y'all's opinion. So like I'm saying, like there has to be that same kind of energy going back and forth. So I vehemently disagree with what Tasha just said. But I get it. That's how y'all feel. All right.
I think it's because that's what we see more often than not. Like
what I saw was more the same thing.
And I'm not saying that you're wrong because of your experience. Like that's your experience. This is our experience.
Josh said, I'm not asking you, Corey.
Exactly.
I ain't dated a white girl since I was in 8th grade. So I'm in like the 6th or 7th grade. So I really don't know. I can't speak to it too much.
Yes. Asha, you are absolutely right. Black women should date outside their ethnicity.
I do believe Black women at this time, it is definitely time to date. I mean, because y'all been holding on, and I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for holding on for us. But at this point in time, please, if something comes across your way, do not turn it down because it ain't Black. I know what you want. I know.
I mean,
it's what I wanted too, but you better let the Lord come for you the way the Lord come for you. Listen, I'm telling you.
A white dude treat you so good.
Brina,
go ahead, treat you so good, bro. A white dude treat you so good.
Listen.
Yeah,
Bree, what you saying?
I mean, I dated a white guy once in college, and that was one experience. I was like, okay, he was cool. But I just like greens and cornbread. And so that's just what I got to stick with. That's just my preference.
Why can't you still have greens and cornbread? I don't understand.
Be the difference in seasoning.
So
you season it then.
I was going to say, I see a lot more African women marrying white men. And I see the white men like adapting to their culture. Like, I see them like cooking the meal, and then you see the white man eating it like, yo, this is so bomb, and I think that's really dope for if it's, I understand like Inez was saying, like, I've never dated a white guy either, but I'm very, very hesitant-y, which I get because it's like white man, Black woman, that just, when you think about it in today's society, you're like, nah, but
Black lady, the Asian men is starting to step up too. I'm just saying.
Absolutely, Asian, Hispanic, all Indian, they all are stepping up, and they like Black women. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I think it's just got to be the right person. I mean, I'm quarter Filipino, okay, so I can't even, I'm not. I try to tell my single sisters, like, yo, be open. You never know. Like a Filipino man, Filipinos are beautiful, okay, like. Give them a chance, and they culturally, they kind of like Black people. So some cultures are very similar to African culture. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm stressed. Can we move on?
Yeah.
Y'all are funny. Listen. But again, I go back to the numbers. At the end of the day, our people are still marrying our people at a high rate as they've been. You know what I mean? That hasn't changed as much as people act like it is. But again, do what you do. Took non-black men a while to step up because they are intimidated by the Mandingo myth. Hey. You know what I'm saying? So listen.
Aisha,
Our last topic.
Said that, Aisha.
The last topic of the night. I'm sorry, y'all got me in these comments.
I know, I did.
Oh,
I
Lord.
bet you I did.
Okay, they don't got the luxury like that. We got the luxury to choose. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's a whole. Well, okay. So, lastly, as we were running,
1,000 views is only one of me. That's Kanye said.
Speaking of Kanye,
yeah.
You see that? I just transitioned.
Kanye has had quite the week, or a couple weeks, right? I mean, Kanye's had quite the year, though, probably going back to the first Donda and its releases. Of course, the divorce that's in progress between him and Kim, to the releasing of the Jeen-yuhs documentary on Netflix, and even the Miami release of Donda 2 with the whole event that we got to experience last night. Kanye is doing a lot. And hey, look, the title of the Netflix joint is called Jeen-yuhs. I've had cats debate me on whether or not he is or not. Listen, y'all, we can't deny the Kanye West experience and what he's attributed to the culture and to the music genre and how he's you just can't deny that. But ultimately, let's go first to the Netflix documentary. Brina. Actually, I'm sorry, Trisha. I don't think I've called on you first this time yet around.
Okay.
Part 1 and part 2 of Showcase. What have you thought about this documentary?
So I didn't get a chance to watch part 2. I'm so angry because I really wanted to. But my day has been crazy. So but part 1 though, oh my gosh, like part 1 meant so much for me as somebody who really struggles with confidence. It's just so inspiring just to watch, like, because a lot of people are like, oh, he arrogant, and that's debatable. He's could be, maybe not, we don't know, but I just
love him, but he's arrogant.
There's levels. I just loved the way that his mother was just so encouraging and just like pouring into him, and just like that is what helps a child become a confident adult, and that's definitely something that I lacked. And so I think just watching that really inspired me to be even more encouraging to my children, children, and even like just like being more about myself. Like, yo, you can do this. Like the things that you feel like you can't do, you actually can do, because you're doing it. First of all, you're doing it, and you need to like big yourself up for the things you've accomplished. And that's what I do love about Kanye. He doesn't care about what anybody else thinks. And even when he was like getting snubbed the whole time, like nobody was taking him serious as a rapper, he's like, nah, I'm a rapper, bruh. Like I'm a beast. And look where it got him, And so he's just the going for what you really know that you want and deserve. Like that's the thing that I got from that part 1, So I love it.
That's what it is. Brina, what you think about it?
I did watch both parts, and you're welcome.
I'm messing with you, Trish.
But it was good. It was good. I think I'm probably gonna continue. It's gonna be one of my favorite things to just keep watching, just to see his confidence that he had in himself, and the confidence that the people that were surrounding him, that they had in him, because it took a whole team to kind of pull that dream off. Just to see the footage of all the work that went into College Dropout, all the studio sessions, the features, how he got the studio time when Rockefeller was like, we're not giving you a budget for anything. Like it was it was refreshing to see. Yeah. But it was good. I loved it.
That's what it is. Goss, what you think?
Yo, it wouldn't be right just to call Kanye a genius, because they didn't even show half his genius, even a quarter of his genius in the first 2 episodes. I would call that man a sage. That man is ridiculous, bruh. Like, from the thoughts, it's so difficult. So as an artist, I record mad songs. I got mad songs up here. But when I record them, they sound totally different. and a lot of times they don't sound how I thought about it in here. So for him to be able to be like, this is how I think about it, and this is how it's coming out, and it comes out the same way that you think about it, that's incredible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? First of all, from an artist standpoint, and then the confidence that my man displays and everything that he does, it could be garbage, but you can't tell him that. You feel me? Like, everything he does is fire, and he makes us believe that it's fire. You know what I'm saying? And then I love how he takes matters into his own hands. Feel me? He was like, yo, I'm going to go rap for Jay-Z. And he convinced Jay to put him on a verse, put him on the joint, right? Yep. And like Jay gave him a little pointer, boom, 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 like, do this. And he said it. And then he went in, and now he's on a Jay-Z project. Like, bruh, just the way that he, like, his no quit attitude is just like so fire, bruh. And like his confidence and his, I don't even think it's arrogance. I feel like it's just, it's so, like, he's just a different guy. Yeah. And he believes in his product and what he's doing, so much so that Through the Wire video, he paid $33,000 out his own pocket. He was like, yo, I believe in what I'm doing out here in these streets. So that was super dope. I watched the second part too as well. The second part was super fire too. Just watching his journey, how he got to Rockefeller, and he's about to sign with Raucus, and he got that, you know, the nods from everybody. And it was cool to see just how College Dropout came about, and how to see, you know, how Dame played him, and then, you know, wanted to work with him afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they believed in him a lot as much as he knew that it was going to be so dope. And then, like, yo, I need a friend like Cootie, bro. Like, I really
listen.
Like, who's gonna be out here like flying across the country just to take me all day?
Listen. I gave up my dream and my aspirations because I saw that you would be bigger than us all. I grabbed this camera and said, let me follow you and document everything.
That's what I'm saying.
That foresight, bonkers.
And the wait, like the amount of time that he's had to wait for this day, today. This documentary
20 years in the making.
This documentary is everything. And he's gonna get his reward for that. He's gonna get his reward.
It's so wild because like it's not like it's professionally done, but it's not professionally done.
Yeah.
Like, it's all like on a point and shoot camera.
It is.
But somehow they made it look fire.
Yeah. That's that editing.
So,
that's like, the editing.
It is. The editing on it was fire. And then like the way that like I feel like Ye had me thinking like, you know what, Corey, you are the best. You are the best CHH artist you ever known in your life. You're right, Corey. You're right. We're gonna make some more songs, right? So like I feel like he gives me the energy that, I mean, it's super inspirational. We already knew it's gonna be inspirational, but like they didn't do justice the genius that he really is. Like they made it like they didn't. I mean, they gave us the regular story. Like it was hard. It was difficult, and he finally got a break because he believed in himself. But there's probably so much other stuff that they didn't get in there that, like, you know, that probably really will look at and be like, yo, you're a genius. And like he was working with Jamie Foxx, that was so fire. And like we got to see how Slow Jams came about.
This is crazy. Seeing how all this music came about is
super fire.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He was getting cosigns from Scarface, from Jay-Z, from Ludacris, and like he would just like run up on him with his camera. And like they had no clue. You know, my man was in the doctor's office, and the dude was like, "No, you can't film this."
And he filmed it.
Illegal. He said it's illegal.
He did, and they still filmed it.
Right. And then like when D-Ray was in that jump, without an arm I spit.
I be like, hold this.
He said, "You made me want to get in a car accident and make some music."
Dude, that's what he said. Now, I mean, definitely. Go ahead.
No. I'm wrapping up. So like So like, yeah, like just watching Through the Wire and watching how he got signed to Rockefeller and then Rockefeller not messing with him. And then he gets hot and he does everything on his own. And then they open up his budget. And like, so I'm thinking about too, because like I'm a huge Rockefeller head. Like I've been a Rockefeller head since like 10th grade. So now I'm seeing the names that Jay-Z has talked about in songs. Like you saw Carlin, you saw people like Big Face Gary, you saw, you know what I'm saying? So like you're seeing the people who like
that nobody cared about on Rockefeller, right?
Right.
The shelved artists.
Well, no, not even the artists. I'm talking about like the execs, like that work for the company.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So like Carlene's the person. He was like, you know, not only could I spit it, but Carlene told me I could buy 2 tickets. So like I got to see Carlene, who Carlene was. You know what I'm saying? So like that's like dope for me. Like I like that kind of stuff. But like it was just it was just so dope. I can't wait for the third part. And then
Jamal, you're so right, Jamal. You are so right, Jamal. Go ahead.
Of course, there's some they talked about how there was some split between them at the end, and he was like he really didn't see Kanye after he got blew up and got the Grammy and that kind of stuff. So I'm interested to see how Cootie ends up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, keep it up with that joint. But then like he got Hype Williams to shoot it and didn't even use Hype Williams' video. He's like, no,
it's crazy the amount of prophecy that happened. You know, when you're filming that much, words get spoken, and then to see them come to pass is crazy. So you know what Goss is talking about. Cootie told him. It was Cootie and the other dude. They told him like, Kanye, you gonna go to Hype because you want Hype for Jesus Walks. He's going to record it. You're going to be like, this isn't what I want. And you're going to call us. And that's exactly what happened.
Wow. That's
Kanye went and got one, then went and got another, and then ended up just going back to his boys at the end of the day. And it was just what it is. I mean, they just knew exactly what he wanted. So Cootie, as Charles said earlier, is the real MVP of all this. Like, just what he did, just the foresight, brilliant, right? Yeah. It's brilliant, utter brilliance, just to grab that camera and just making sure all this was documented. Kanye is such an inspirational figure to me. In some way, like I always want to see Kanye win. I don't know what that is. I mean, does Kanye have his missteps? Does he have his issues? Is he showing off bipolar? Do he be saying stupid stuff? Heck absolutely. Yeah. All this is so true. You know what I mean? The slavery was a choice joint that came up in the chat earlier. Yes. That was some bull. You know what I'm saying? It was some stuff. Yes, he did do the red cap. You know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. I'm going to be honest with you. Even the George Bush don't like black people. When he did that, I was like, Bush ain't got nothing to do with just what popped off in New Orleans. And Bush opened up the floodgates. And I remember back then, the New Orleans governor or mayor or whatever the case may be was refusing to take some of the help. It was real stupid. It ain't have nothing to do with Bush. You know what I'm saying?
But I got a question, though. Why would Dame sign him and then shelf him? Was it only because of the accident?
No. Kanye was a great producer. So now we're talking Pharrell, Timberland. You know what I mean? Kanye was a great producer. And even as you look at all the media back then, hip hop producer, Kanye, they refused to call him a rapper.
Yeah.
And so it got to the point where a person like Dame Dash is like, look, we need these beats on deck. You want to rap? We don't really think you can do that. But you know what we need? We need these beats on decks. Let me pacify you. And let me say, okay, you're signed to The Rock. Cool. It's cool to have, a producer signed to The Rock. Why not? You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I keep you in house. Yeah. That's what it was.
And then fam, this dude moved to New York. This dude moved to New York and was living off just selling beats.
That's it.
And the dude asked him, wasn't you think it's that much?
No, he said it in the joint.
He did say it.
Asked him, and then it was funny because the one scene was like, yo, this rapper wants to meet up with you to get some beats.
For
and
free?
Like he was like, he wants to get it for free. And he was like, yo, that's like going to the Kmart and saying, yo, I watch TV the best. You should give me these TVs for free.
give me that TV. Because that's what I rap. I rap the best, so you should give me a beat for free. I watch TV the best. I should get that TV for free. It was so Kanye bars be crazy. The things that Kanye say just be so on point.
Hilarious.
But it was just beautiful to see it all. Really seeing how Donda, Miss West really anchored Kanye. Yeah. She really, and she encouraged her boy. But she also gave him things to think about. The whole giant in the mirror thing, like that's just bars.
No, that
you know what I mean.
That right there,
bars.
that quote. Listen, I have
in the
to
mirror
like
and sees nothing.
I need to like frame that joint. It's got to be on my wall of affirmation.
It's on some philosophy type stuff. You know what I mean?
That's hard. That's hard.
Like for real. So, but then Kanye's drive. Him not wanting to be complacent, his willingness to do whatever it took. At one point, creating 5 beats a day. You know what I mean? And taking a whole summer, creating 5 beats a day.
That's that discipline.
That grind. Yeah. So her encouragement of him, I think, was just everything. His discipline was everything. Kanye's always wore his heart on his sleeve. I think that's another thing that we have admired about Kanye. But that's also the gift and the curse, right? You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. Because he's always wore his heart and his feelings on his sleeve. And so, it's crazy. And then by the time seeing part 2 and seeing how Through the Wire came, that's how I was introduced to Kanye, Through the Wire.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That was just, as Pharrell experienced it in the studio, it was just like, that's so genius. He done took Shaka Khan's joint Through the Fire. He talking about Through the Wire. What wire? Well, he was in this accident and his mouth is wired shut. And now he's spitting these flames through the wire. And took the sample and it was killer and beats. That's how I was. That story in itself was so engulfing.
Yeah.
That car accident was very important to Kanye's career.
Definitely.
It was extremely, extremely important to Kanye's career. But even when Rockefeller wasn't really, even after they signed him and they still weren't ready to push him or open up to certain budgets, he continued to grind. He continued to make beats. He continued to have the money to fund his own stuff until Rockefeller was ready to say, all right, well, let us go ahead and open these doors so you can recoup. And then it was off to the races. I mean, Grammy, that first album was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Platinum
I was
recording
listening to that song the other day.
About a month or so, or whatever, I was listening to it too, and I realized my timelines were off on some stuff because if I was honest, I bought the bootleg of Kanye back in 2002, 2003, and I was missing some tracks. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm the kind of cat I really want Kanye to win. I want Kanye to get help, even though when you're a billionaire and you're so successful, man, it's just you got all them resources to you, but you probably got all those yes men around you. And even the people that have tried to correct you, you've probably pushed them out the box. It's really, but you thought, him finding Christ and really walking that or trying to walk that for a while, and I'm not saying he's not walking it now, but you could tell this last year, with the divorce and everything, the proceedings of the divorce have been extremely hard for him. Yeah. And it's challenging him and how he holds on to his faith, whatever the case may be, I don't know. But then there's also a little bit of me that in the far back of my mind, I think this is the last season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And sometimes I feel like this divorce is a whole ploy. But it's just a little joint in the back of my mind.
It could be.
Pete Davidson, like for real? Like,
weird.
And then even the girl he ended up, quote unquote dating. Really?
Weird.
Like, these are not even attractive people by the least bit. But anyway, it's like they picked it for each other. Like, okay, yeah, you can go Pete Davidson. I'm cool with that. Oh yeah, the little white girl. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Y'all do what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for real, it's like, man,
you might be right because Kris Jenner, she a genius too,
oh,
and she know how to work her kids.
Yes.
Yeah,
so she does.
It could be that.
She does. You just never know really. But ultimately, what really want Kanye to win is my thought process. In spite of everything, y'all on some 4th Avenue Jones hip hop soul, Tina Jones and Ahmad and whatnot in the chat. What's going on in the chat? What are you talking about here?
He was talking about all the songs back then that didn't have the Kanye clap on it.
Because back then, yeah.
Jones is dope.
Oh yeah, 4th Avenue was so dope. So Destiny put it is rumored that Pete Davidson and Kim is a joke. I'm telling you, it just
I
feels
believe
that way.
that because I just
It just so
don't
feels that
see...
way. All of this feels made up to me. And after once the last season of Keeping Up with Kardashians, which is this last season here, once it ends, I want to see what happens then. You know what I mean? See if all of a sudden they get back together. Oh, you know what I mean? It'd be, quite interesting. But yeah, that's what it is. Let's talk about, once again, furthering the genius quality of Kanye, this presentations that nobody is doing these album release parties quite like Kanye, I would say. What did you guys think about last night's event? Go ahead, Trish.
I didn't see it.
I didn't either.
Well, first of all,
me and Trish saw it. Okay.
That's why I'm so tired, because I was up trying to watch that thing.
I called it this morning.
Yeah, it was, first of all, visually,
bonkers.
I was like, it was like a couple of shots where he was like kneeling, he's on his knees, and it's a whole pool of water. First of all, he's like in a really shallow pool of water,
and then they created a moon and a sun.
Listen, I saw that. I said, wait a minute,
with the eclipse and everything.
Like, is that the sun? It's just crazy. But it's like certain shots with the smoke, and because he had the house again on fire, but the smoke coming from the house with the water and the all black, and all the people in all black. Yo, it was a mood for me. Okay?
Did you notice when the angel or Jesus appeared, how all of a sudden the fire went out? The fire started going out on the house?
No, I didn't notice that at all.
Beautiful.
I got to go back and watch that because I don't remember that.
Check it out. Yes.
It was great though. I mean, okay. So toward the end, the audio was bugging.
Started messing up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was bugging. But it was still dope. Like, I liked a lot of the tracks. I feel like this album is definitely more listener friendly than the first Donda to me.
You think so? Okay.
I do.
Okay.
There's a couple of joints on there that I was like, I could go without this, but for the most part,
the question is, will we ever hear it?
That is the question.
I'm not buying a stem player.
I'm not either. Not now, at least. Yeah, I don't know.
Where'd they show it?
Made. Go ahead.
Where did they show it at? Like, where can I watch it?
It was in Miami, but yeah, I got a YouTube link that I looked at this morning.
On YouTube. It's still up. I'm sure it's still up. It's on Kanye's YouTube channel.
Got you.
Charles said the audio engineer is getting killed on social.
Oh yeah, it was bad. I was like, oh
yeah.
Wow.
And Jamal is right. The stem player concept is bonkers.
It is.
What's the concept?
It's a fire concept. So it's a little player. It's $200 little player, right? A little player, and from what I understand, he's already made $2.4 million in they say 3 hours or 3 days.
It was within the first day, so it had to be within
3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah, $2.4 million, and so the stem player allows for you basically to have the stems of the recording. So now through the player, this little device, you can take out the beat on certain parts, speed it up on certain points, drop the bass on certain part. You can manipulate the stems on your player.
But he also was only releasing the album on the stem player.
On the stem player.
Only. So he's not. It's not on any.
So it's not on any streaming joints right now.
Yeah,
now,
you have
in my opinion, in a month or two. Yeah.
Where do you get a stem player from?
So this thing right here.
Yep, there it is right there. Thank you, Bree. Look at Bree.
Stemplayer.com, right?
I think it's
stemplayer.com. That's it. Yep.
That's it right there.
It's got, I think it has like a 200 gig capacity, I believe.
Wow.
Jeez.
But why would you want to take instruments out of something that I don't understand.
It's the stems. Like, the stems to any track is every part of the track.
You've never heard a track or heard a song or whatever the case may be and thought to yourself, man, if this was here or this was here, this would be so much better.
Yeah, I have.
It allows you to do that. And it's just
I want to hear the way that he created it. Right.
It's just, and I mean, I'll be honest with you, there might be a verse I want to mute. Like, that was a dope verse here, but I don't like this verse. Mute.
Yeah.
It's just it's really creative. You know what I mean? So yeah. But no, I'm not buying a $200 stem player. I'm sorry. Maybe when I was
the album costs $200. So the album costs $200.
Yes.
Theoretically, yes, and he's already made 2.4 million. He made 2.4 million in 3 hours. He's got to be upwards to 3 or 4 million probably now. But 2.4 million in 3 hours by avoiding the joint. Now, don't get me wrong. From what I understand, Apple was ready to give him 100 million for
I thought it was was it 200? I thought it was 200 million. I think you might be right. Either way.
But either way, it's more than 2.4. And don't get me wrong, he's playing the long game, right?
Right.
Because this technology could go boom. I don't think it will, but it could go boom. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. So he's playing the long game. And I would say, give it 2 or 3 months. This is going to have to show up on streaming platforms.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
In my
Probably
opinion,
before that. I think before that, for sure.
So it's just crazy. And then seeing all the artists in the background and everybody, when they heard Kanye rap, all from the Most Defs to the Pharrells, to when they heard it, they were just like, oh, you're not playing. You're not just a producer. You can really do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. They're like, oh, wow, we didn't. Pharrell was like, I didn't know. I just did not know. That's what Pharrell just kept saying. It's like, I didn't know. Yeah. I knew you were a producer. I did not know this.
I loved Most Def and Talib giving him the stamp of approval before anybody. To me, I'm like, that's what matters most. These are the rappers. Like they lyricists, they know it.
And listen, going back and listening to that made me realize, like, Kanye really had bars too. Like, I knew he did, but I didn't always put him at the top tier of rappers. I was Kanye was more refreshing for me in the early 2000s. I wasn't more so concerned with his lyrical ability as much as, oh my God, what he's saying, this content. This, being honest on wax.
For sure.
This is beautiful. Why is no other rapper doing this?
I'm so self-conscious.
I'm so self-conscious. You know what I mean? Like, Like that was more so what I was impressed with Kanye. From the Jesus Walks to the Through the Wire to the, All Falls Down. It was the self-awareness and the willing to speak on it in the midst of hardcore, flashy rap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what it was for me. So I had to go back and think like, oh no, these were out. He was actually spitting too. So yeah, and he was funny. That's another thing. You know what I mean? He did. Stephen Levi said he had a lot of jokes. He really did. Like Kanye, man, I want this dude to win, and he's already won. He's a billionaire. So when I say I want him to win, I mean I want him to get his marriage back. I want him to make sure his life is right. I want him to get help on this bipolar situation. I want him to do better. You know what I mean? At the same time, when you're a billionaire, let's be free. We can all say what we want about. Charles said he was goofy. He was a little, you know what I mean? Which was kind of refreshing. You know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway, we have to understand that Kanye sits on a different perch than any of us could ever really imagine.
Yeah.
His level of access and visibility and what he's seen in his life and the rooms he's able to be in and what he's able to do financially, it's something that majority of us, I'm just going to say majority, I could probably say something else, but I'm not going to speak that on anybody else's life in here because I don't know what God has planned for you guys. But the majority of us will never be billionaires. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Right. I want to say something else, but I won't. Anyway, you know what I mean? So it's just, I respect that and I understand I don't know everything when it comes to Kanye in his personal life and what he's been through and whatever the case may be. But man, I wish Miss Donda was around.
Yeah.
I really wish she was around.
That was a heavy loss for him. Like, and we all talk about how after she passed, that's when he changed, which, sometimes extreme trauma like that can cause, your brain to malfunction. So, and I think that's something that people do need to understand about like bipolar, like how sometimes it can come on from a tragic event. And just understanding that, like, this man definitely got mental health issues, and he says it. He talks about it.
And you could see the mental health issues when Miss Donda was alive.
For sure.
You could see it then.
For sure.
But when she died, that, as you said, that trigger, that tragedy, unleashed. Just So, So that's what it is. Praying for that dude, and his marriage and his children. I think he means the best. You know what I mean? So that's why I think his intentions are well, in spite of the nonsense that he does and sometimes says. But yeah, that is what it is. I figure we quickly get into the chat, see what cats are saying, and then we go ahead and get out of here. What y'all seeing in the chats?
Destiny said, I understand that type of grief. Inez, losing a parent kills a part of your soul. I totally relate. Yeah. I mean, you know, Des, she lost her grandmother, who she was extremely close with.
Wow.
And just, you know, seeing how that has affected her, you know, it's rough. It's rough. And I, you know, that's my sister. So I can understand, you know, and relate to, because of her, just like some of the stuff Kanye is related to. So it's rough. It's rugged. And my brother-in-law is bipolar as well. Like my husband said, the divorce of his parents was something that sparked it. And sometimes people may not think that that's something that could do, but that's, you know, they were married for their whole lives, you know, and for them to part ways like that is traumatic. That's a traumatic event. So, you know, just it's crazy.
Tasha speaks to this fine line. I think it's so true. Tasha was like, look, Kanye injected just enough consciousness in the mainstream to avoid being commoned.
Facts.
Back when Common was slept on. He was just enough conscious.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
that's facts.
It was really a fine line that he played, you know, being the best dressed rapper in the baggy tees days and baggy jeans days. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was yeah. It's going to be very interesting to see what this last episode focuses on, because they've already kind of hinted towards it. Like, how did Cootie almost set it up like this was just the beginning. This guy right here goes and ends up being this guy. And it shows him at the Donda release joint in the red outfit with the mask on. You know what I mean? And it's like, wow, how did this guy become this guy? You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. Not that that's bad. It's just, it's such an evolution. You know what I mean? Of sorts. So, yeah, that's what it is. Anything else in the chats before we head out?
People relating to that trauma.
Just relating. Y'all pray for Kanye. I know the Black community seems to have a hate-love relationship with Kanye right now because of some of the things that he's done within the last 2 or 3 years. Some of the comments he's made, you know, his support at one time or another for Trump, yada yada yada, and things of that nature. But I think we need to keep that brother in prayer, for real. For real. So that is what it is. I keep forget to tell y'all to like and subscribe. So
please do.
Yeah, the rest of the Tastemakers, y'all can do this. Y'all can say that too now. Like and subscribe. You know what I mean? Make sure to like and subscribe. Listen, y'all, it costs you guys absolutely nothing. And comment. You know what I mean? It means the world to us, though. Of course, when you like it, it tells YouTube's and all the algorithms that this is something worth checking out. So we definitely appreciate you guys. Definitely subscribe so you know when we go live and what we got going on here at the Tastemakers Pods. We appreciate all of you guys for joining in, from Inez to Jamal, of course, Stephen the Levite, to Taj, to Kira, to Destiny, to Charles, to my man Kenny, to everybody that's been hanging out with us in the chats. We really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, Taj, domination
nights with us. Domination is coming. What Taj know about domination? Anywhere going to any Christian? And CHH conference? Yeah, Domination Fest, June 24th. The lineup will be released probably in the next couple months. You guys don't want to miss it. Definitely, I think Holy Smokes has actually just released their ability to buy tickets. You know, shouts out to Indie Tribe and all them cats that run that. Aaron involved in all stuff. That the lineups that they present will not be better than ours. Just know that. Domination 2024. If you can, go to both. Huh? Say it again.
I'm gonna say facts to that. Because I know some of the people.
Yeah, you know, Shout out to that.
Yo, low key, I'm going to the Unashamed tour that's in Columbus, so I might see you.
You was going to that joint? When is that joint?
March 26th.
Them tickets are steep.
$30.
How much for tickets?
$30. Well, yeah. There's a huge range. It's $29 to $299 or something like that. $299. I'm kind of surprised.
Yo, you flying to Ohio? Or you driving?
No, I'm driving.
keep me posted on that. We might need to road trip that joint.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I say that and then I get family and I don't show up. But
I'm going, so I'm just letting you know.
I know. Yeah. I know. That's what it is. Anyway, y'all, of course, giving you a taste of the culture. It's the Tastemakers Pod. That's your girl, Trisha Bell. That's Light Skin Corey. That's Brina right there. They call me Quote, and we appreciate you guys joining us. See you next week.
Follow us on Instagram too and Twitter.
Insta and Twitter.
And comment and engage because y'all don't be engaging on
Instagram. Come on.
And I be on here posting.
Talk that talk, Trish.
Definitely.
Get aggressive.
Follow.
That's what it is.
Follow button.
Do all the things.
Period.
I agree.
Tastemakers.
Classic. We do more than make a living, we make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the tastemakers, aight. Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight. We do more than make a living, we make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the tastemakers, aight. Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight. For the movers and shakers, for the new tastemakers, sommeliers came out to play. Classics in the current day. For the movers and shakers, for the new tastemakers.